College,
Right.
a professor from Hunter and another one from Queens. But what we wanted to do was make sure that Brooklyn College was in the lead, and that CUNY was going to be the lead institution.
Okay.
So that's what we were.
Now
So we're moving towards. So it we went and pitched it to the provost,
right.
and then the vice chancellor for research got all the CUNY folks together, and we had a meeting.
Right.
And we sort of argued for Brooklyn College being the lead college within CUNY.
Right.
So,
Yeah, because I was telling Dr. Bronco that I was actually surprised, but that Kingsborough at that particular point wasn't involved, because I know they have I graduated from there, and I know they have an oceanography program there, or maritime program, so I thought it was interesting. But one thing I did wanted to ask you was, are there any projects specifically that you're interested in conducting with the new institution once it's built and once it's running?
well, we have a project right now.
Right.
That's going on.
Okay.
We have some 2 moorings out in Jamaica Bay,
Okay.
recording data on currents in and out of the bay through the circulation of the bay, plus oxygen, temperature. So my interest is in more the environmental monitoring
Right.
to see how things change within the bay and in the water.
Okay. Yeah, that's another thing I wanted to ask you with regards to climate change, global warming. How much of this is going to be just for institutional use, and how much of your findings are going to be more for the scientific community as a whole? Like, will there be an effort to try to, how can I put it, is this just going to be for instructional classes, or will you actually get to conduct projects that are just beyond Brooklyn College?
No, it's going to be both.
Okay.
So what we're designing right now
Right.
is a field course
Okay.
for environmental science students at Brooklyn College, but we'd also invite other CUNY campuses to participate if they want.
Okay.
And this field course will have 2 effects. It'll train the students, but it'll also allow and the students will be working with the faculty, but the faculty will be conducting their own research. So it's, and as far as the faculty is concerned, they're conducting their own research, they're going to publish it, and that's where it gets disseminated to the broader scientific community.
Okay, that sounds great. Another question I wanted to ask you was, you kind of answered 2 of my questions, so I'll move on to another one. With regards to access to the institution, do you have to be enrolled into a program for science necessarily to have access to it, or can someone who, let's say, who's a media major, or maybe someone who's doing a project?
No. We're totally open to other activities, you might say.
Yeah.
We need to. The importance of what you do, is communicating what we do to the broader populace.
Right.
So we certainly welcome anybody who wants to come and bring their own perspective to what we're doing.
That's great. Now, guess I'll give you one last question, just because some of these questions have been answered already. With regards to science itself, are there going to be other studies outside of environmental studies, so to speak? Will we be covering biology? Will they be covering things like physics, so to speak? Or is it just going to be environmental studies?
No, there's we have faculty in area that are interested in Jamaica Bay.
Okay.
One faculty member is interested in seahorses. So he's actually been sampling seahorses in Jamaica Bay. Another one is interested in there's a fish in Jamaica Bay called a toadfish.
Right.
which makes noises, and he's interested in that particular species. There's a woman from York College who's working on mummichugs.
Yeah.
So we have broader interests than just environmental studies.
That's great. That's great. Now, I was telling Dr. Bronco yesterday that when they initially told me about the Science Institution and Resilience project that was going on, they kind of gave me the impression that you might have some involvement with the Gowanus cleanup. Is there any intentions to maybe get involved, maybe for the study of what's going on over there with regards to the water, the pollutants that are actually currently occupying the waters?
It's possible. You know, we're at Brooklyn College. We're interested in all of Brooklyn's waterways.
Yeah.
So Jamaica Bay,
Yeah.
the waters
Gowanus.
off Coney Island, Sheepshead Bay, the Gowanus Canal, and certainly we'll look for opportunities to work there.
Okay.
But I think right now, you know, the EPA has got
Yeah.
a timeline that they're on schedule for cleanup.
8 to 10
Do
years.
you
or
live
something.
by the Gowanus Canal? Or
No, the thing is, I'm actually taking an intro to journalism class, and we're studying the actual story itself. I mean, I know the initial press conference was about 3 years ago, and I was actually doing an article on it yesterday. But I seen that they've done things like they have implemented to spend $506 million. They're talking
Yeah.
about 8 to 10 years.
That's right.
More recently, they have a developer who they actually made a contract to deal with where they can build some type of luxury condo there if they're willing to spend tens of millions of dollars in aiding with the cleanup effort. I also found out that they had 4 government agencies, which includes the EPA and the U.S. Navy, which is partaking. Yeah, because apparently the U.S. Navy was responsible for some of the pollution when they were over there by the Brooklyn Navy Yard. So
Right.
yeah, so it was very interesting to see that they're actually backtracking companies that were responsible, like I think Brooklyn Oil, and then they got absorbed by National Grid. So now National Grid is also liable for the cleanup
Okay.
issues. New York City itself, and they actually have 29 private companies. But apparently, it's more than over 100 companies that are responsible for the past, what is it, 2 centuries, a century and a half?
I think it started going bad about the early to mid 1800s.
Yeah, it was the mid 1800s. It was actually constructed in 1869 to be exact. After it was approved in 1849, and according to the EPA regional administrator Judith Enck, she was saying that it's been polluted ever since. Like there was never
Yeah.
a time pollution started immediately. So they're actually trying to see if they can do some things where they put retention tanks
Yeah.
to try to keep the water from overflowing and dispersing more
And there's
pollutants while
the
they're
flushing
cleaning.
tunnel.
Right. Yeah. So it's an interesting project. The thing is that I don't know if they actually started the efforts, and I was curious to know if the Science and Resilience Institution would be involved in that effort. So
Not immediately,
not immediately.
but we
Give it a
certainly
chance.
look at all the Brooklyn water.
Possibilities. All right. Thank you very much.